If you can copy simple Spanish words, you can create word search books that people actually love. And here's the surprising part. You don't need to know another language. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to follow a process that's simple, repeatable, and proven. Now, why does this matter? Well, word search books are one of the most consistent performers on Amazon KDP. They sell year round, they appeal to a wide audience, and they've stood the test of time when it comes to low content publishing. But here's where the opportunity gets even bigger. Publishing word search books in Spanish for the US marketplace. There are over 40 million Spanish speaking people in the US alone, and yet this audience is often overlooked by KDP publishers. That gap means less competition, more opportunity, and a way to stand out in a market where most people are still only creating in English. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through why this niche is so powerful, show you real examples, and at the end, I'll share with you how you can start creating these books quickly, even if you've never made one before. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Jeff, and this channel is all about becoming self-sufficient when it comes to making money online. So if this sounds like you, feel free to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I release a new video. With that being said, let's get right to it. Now, if we go on Amazon and make a search for Spanish word search book, we're gonna find all of these word searches all in Spanish. And honestly, this surprised me at first to see all of these books, not only in Spanish, but I'm looking at the bestsellers ranks, and virtually all of them are all selling very well, all have pretty low BSRs. We even have some here, like this one right here, bestseller badge, 12,000 BSR. Now, if we check out the data from Titan's quick view, we can see total results 1,618. We see the exact match. So 7 books out of the 48 are showing up for this exact keyword in their title. 42 out of the 48 books on the first page are independently published, and an average bestsellers rank of just over 300,000. Now, when it comes to determining if a niche is going to be potentially profitable or not, I stick to 3 simple rules. And the first rule has to do with the competition. Now, there's no point putting a book up in a niche that's overly competitive because you're just going to have a very hard time trying to get your book ranked on the first couple pages of Amazon so that it can be seen and it can be sold. So what I look for are search results that have about 1,000 or less, because this is going to tell me that the competition is not nearly as competitive, which means it's going to give my book a fair shot at getting seen and getting sold. So with the total results being 1,618, that's a little bit higher than that 1,000 or so that I look for. But this is a good place to try KDP ads, because if you can get your book ranked here on the first page, there's a good chance that it could sell. I mean, look at all these bestsellers ranked. This one right here, 5,479. The one right next to it, 67,000, 37,000. This one right here, 61,000. If we go to the next row, bestseller badge, 12,000, 338,000. This one's 10,000. And all the way to the bottom of this first page, we even have this one right here ranked at 346,000. This one's 221,000, 260,000. So a lot of books that sell very, very well. But obviously, if you want something a little bit less competitive, I got you covered. Now, this one is going to be the Spanish word search for seniors. So we're going to niche down. This is a sub niche. Total results, 506. So a lot lower than the 1,600 results from the previous one. Now, the second rule has to do with demand. There's no point putting a book up on Amazon if no one is looking for that type of book. So what I look for to see if there's demand are 3 KDP books that all have a bestsellers rank of 300,000 or below, because this is going to tell me that these books are consistently selling right now, which means there has to be some type of demand here. So if we go through the first page, we're going to see this one right here, Spanish word search for adults and seniors, independently published with a bestsellers rank 67,759. The one right next to it is for adults. And this one right here, extra large print word search seniors and adults, ranked at 75,000. This one, adults and seniors, ranked at, let's look at this, 89,000. And if we go to the next row, I see this one right here, ranked at 257,000. This one ranked at 96,000. This one ranked at 338,000. That's a lot more than the 3 KDP books that I look for with that bestsellers rank of 300,000 or below. Bestseller right here, all in Spanish. So this is the kind of book that I'm actually looking for. This one right here, also mostly in Spanish, ranked at 27,000. And here is even another sub niche that we could go into, which is going to be the Bible word search niche. And my third rule is pretty simple. It's just a way to validate the demand and the competition that I looked at. And it is a niche score of at least 50 that comes from Titan's quick view. Now, if we look at the niche score, we see a 52, so it's decent. We click on Titans Pro analysis. We can see demand is a 4, opportunity is a 7. So all in all, there's a lot of potential for this niche. And from what I see, there's not a lot of competition here. Now, if we check out this book, this one has a book ranking of 12,339. Also has that #1 bestseller badge right here. Titans Quick View says 30-day royalties is anywhere from $867 to $1,300 per month. Now, I said this before, but I think that Titans Quick View often underestimates the 30-day royalties, and I'm going to do my own calculations to show you why. But the 30-day sales right here, 504 to 756 units per month. Now, some details about the book. This one is priced at $9.99, which is really good because if you price your books lower than $9.99, you're going to have really low royalties. So that's kind of the new price point for books, $9.99. The reviews, 4.5 out of 5, 72% a 5-star. So this is what I consider a very good book. Recently published just this year. Obviously the #1 bestseller badge. And if you look at the description, this is all in Spanish. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. A fully Spanish book. Title, description, interior, cover, everything, but has the #1 bestseller badge in the US marketplace. Now, if we look at the sample, let's look at one of these word searches. So this is what it looks like. Very simple. If you've been on the channel long enough, you know that you can create these word search puzzles pretty easily using a program like BookBolt. And then all you would have to do is basically find Spanish words and copy them, put them in a spreadsheet, and then put that into BookBolt to create this type of interior, all looking about the same, just basically different topics, pretty self-explanatory, not that hard to make. Now, if you're wondering where the answer portion is of this book, well, this is mostly going to be on the second half of the book, which the sample is probably not going to show. Now, I just wanted to check out this graph real quick. So from the day that it was published, it didn't sell for a few days. Actually, it didn't sell for probably a few months or maybe 1 month. And then out of nowhere, started selling pretty good right here. And then sales just boomed. You can see this flat line near 0, which is still where it's at right now. So this book is selling very, very well. And this is the type of book that's an evergreen book, meaning this is going to sell year round. So a lot of the times you're going to see this flat line throughout the year. It's going to be a very, very dependable type of book in your library. That's why you do want to create word search books. You really just have to focus on finding these niches and sub niches that not a lot of people are paying attention to. So when we look at the A+ content section, you can see all in Spanish, everything in Spanish, but this is a great way to really sell your book and really boost the sales of your book, especially this portion right here, which is where the publisher can add more types of books that they have to basically cross-sell them and basically showcase them, because customers can just add it to cart from here. And this is a great way to boost your other book sales. Now, if you don't know how to use A+ content, you don't know how to create A+ content, you want to learn how, I'll leave a marker up top on a video that I made on this topic, so feel free to watch that. But I highly recommend creating A+ content, especially because this read sample portion right here can be unpredictable and unreliable. Now, if we go ahead and take the 30-day sales, 756, and plug that into the calculator here, multiply that by the number that we get from KDP's printing cost and royalty calculator. So this one, I put in all the details here, 8.5 by 11 inches. This one's 134 page count with a price point of $9.99. Submit that, and we can see on the Amazon.com marketplace, 60% royalty, estimated royalty, $2.72. So if we go ahead and plug that into the calculator, we're going to see this book makes over $2,000 per month in estimated royalties. Now, the reason I said you want to price your books no less than $9.99 is because let me just switch this to $9.98. Let me submit that. The first thing you're going to see right here is the royalty rate gets slashed 10% from 60% to 50%. And your estimated royalty went from $2 something to $1.71. So think about pricing your book no less than $9.99 if you want to retain your royalty rate. Now, if we go back to Titans Quick View, you can see the 30-day royalties here, anywhere from $867 to $1,300, which is the high. But with my calculations, you can see I'm even higher than that at over $2,000 per month. Now, this number doesn't equate if they use ads, marketing, or any other type of expenses they may have with the book. This is just the pure royalties that come from this book before any type of expenses. So now you've seen the research, the demand is there, the competition is low, and these books clearly have consistent sales potential. But here's the part where most people get stuck. How do you actually make one of these word search books without spending hours building grids by hand? The good news is you don't have to. There's a simple piece of software that does 90% of the work for you. All you really need are your word lists and the software to generate the puzzles for you, formatted and ready to go. So I'm going to show you how to create this pretty easily using BookBolt. So for the project type, I'm just going to do an interior for this tutorial, and the project name will do Spanish word search. Trim size 8.5 by 11 inches. And the interior type, black and white interior with white paper. I don't want bleed, so no bleed, and 100 page count looks good to me. Let's create the project. Now here, I'm gonna click on this icon right here, and we're gonna see a bunch of word searches here. You have your standard one, you have a number one, license plates, and then you have your custom word searches right here. But we're gonna go ahead and stick with the standard word search. And then we're gonna select by rule here. We're just gonna select the first half of the book. So there you go. Let's continue to options. Now this is where you really create the word search. I know there's a lot of options here, but I'm gonna go through it really simply with you. So words per puzzle. Now you can choose anywhere from 1 all the way to 40. Now, depending on the degree of difficulty for the book, if you're doing a kid's book, you wanna choose less words, but I'm gonna try to replicate the book that we were looking at. So I'm gonna go with 30 words per puzzle. Now I want diagonal words in there, but I don't want reverse words. Now for the actual puzzle, you can do 1 puzzle per page up to 4. Let's stick to 1 puzzle. And then the alignment, you can choose bottom right, middle, top left. I'm just gonna choose middle. Now you can play around with the letters and the font, but I'm gonna keep everything standard here. And then with the clues, you can choose if they're columns or they're lines. And you can even do no clues, but I'm gonna stick to columns to show you what that looks like. And you can do the number of columns, 2, 3, or 4. And then the word sort, you can do this as well, text align, all this stuff, but I'm gonna keep it standard. And then with the solution pages, this is what comes at the second half of the book. You can choose 4 solutions per page if you really wanna condense those solutions, or you could do 1 per page. This is all really depending up to you. I like to condense this section, so 4 solutions look good to me. And also with your clue type for your solutions, I kind of stick to the same thing that I have right here. And then the title, you can name this. You can do no title. You could do a custom title, or you can use the first line as a title. So I'm not gonna mess around with the title text. This is what it is right here, as well as the solution title right here. They're linked together. And then right here is where we're gonna upload a CSV file. So this is the example file that they provide. Now this is gonna be a word search, 10 words per puzzle, and they want a break after every 10 words. So you do your 10 words, break, 10 words, break, and so on and so forth until you have however many puzzles you want to include in your book. Now, this is the part where you can use AI. I'm gonna use ChatGPT to basically create me a list of Spanish words for my word search. So basically just ask exactly what you want. So I said, create me a word list in Spanish for a word search book that is 30 Spanish words per puzzle. Create me 50 puzzles. Create the list with a break after 30 words so I can copy the entire list into a spreadsheet and then just let ChatGPT do the work. And as you can see here, it is right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this, and I'm gonna use this example right here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start copying this, paste it, and delete this word right here and start again with the next one. Puzzle 2, just go ahead and copy that and paste it right here. Go on to the bottom of this. Go ahead and delete this one. And just to make this tutorial short, I'm just gonna do 3 puzzles. Go ahead and copy this and put it right here, paste. So as you can see, every puzzle has 30 words. There's a break, 30 words, break, 30 words. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this as a CSV. Now let's go ahead and go back to BookBolt here. I'm gonna choose that CSV file. Now I had to add another 30 words to complete the 4 puzzles because I'm asking for 4 solutions per page here, so it wouldn't let me through. Now when I hit preview, as you can see, it turned out pretty well here. Here's the 30 clues. So as you can see, this is what I mean by condensing the solutions so it doesn't take up a lot of pages at the end of the book. So as you can see, here's the first puzzle, and then we go to the second one right here. Here's the third one that we put all the words. Now you can also break this up into topics and themes. Here's the fourth one right here. And then right after this, since the tutorial only ends at 4 puzzles, you can see all of the solutions right here. So all you'd have to do is go back to ChatGPT, add more puzzles here, and pretty soon you'll have a completed book in no time. Now, if you want to check out BookBolt, I'll leave the link down below. You can also use my code JeffSetLife for an extra 20% off. So that's how you can take something as simple as copying Spanish words and then turn them into a word search book that people actually love. Books that sell year round, that stand out in a crowded market, and tap into an audience that most publishers ignore. Grab my KDP Royalty Roadmap in the description down below. It's completely free and it'll walk you through the entire publishing process step by step. Quick disclaimer, publishing is never guaranteed income. Your results will depend on your effort, your niche choices, and how consistently you take action. Some of the links below may be affiliate links, which means I might earn a commission at no extra cost to you. And that's what helps me keep creating free videos just like this one. If this video helped you see what's possible, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. With that being said, thanks for watching. Bye for now.